mis amigos. In este video, I'm going to be answering a question that has been asked by you guys so many times. How do you make money in El Salvador? You're not going to want to miss this video. I'll explain what we're starting with and where we're wanting to go. Buenas tardes, mis amigos, y bendiciones para todos ustedes. Good afternoon, my friends, and blessings to you all. My name is Charity Hagenaars, and bienvenido a mi canal if you're new here, y bienvenido de nuevo if we're already old amigos. Si no habla inglés, ve a la configuración de YouTube y selecciona pista de audio para escuchar este video en español, o presiona el botón CC para obtener subtítulos en español. Okay, guys, every time someone asks me this question, my answer has been that we are living off of my pension right now and that soon we'll be starting our business. Well, that is only partially true, as the full answer is complicated and hard to explain in the comment. So let me explain it fully now. In 2023, GJ and I did our scouting trip in El Salvador, where we decided that we wanted to move our entire family from Canada to El Salvador for a better future for our family. At that time, I knew I would have to quit my job, so leaving Canada before I turned 50 had different options than after I turned 50 regarding my pension. Now, in order to get our temporary residency here, we would have to choose one of something like 26 different ways to stay in the country. Living off a pension is one way, but it also means that I need to make enough money to qualify, as well as then we would not be able to work here. We're still young, and we felt that starting a business would be a better option for us than just living off my pension. So we went that route so we could leave a legacy for our kids to inherit. Many people have asked why we didn't buy a house, and the answer to that has been that our property in Ontario is still for sale. It is a motel with a house on the same property. It's a commercial property and it still hasn't sold yet. So we started renovating it in November 2019, and then the pandemic hit and we're not able to finish it. So it is a non-operational motel right now. That is one reason it's still for sale. We're hoping it'll sell soon. So until that happens, we just have my monthly pension to use to live on and not a bunch of money to buy something. And that is why we're renting a house and not buying one, as many of you have asked about. Also, houses here are not as cheap as some people may think. The houses in our community here, for example, are about $175,000 to possibly $205,000. So I hope that answers part of your question. So getting back to our residency, like I said, I think there are about 26 different ways to get residency, like temporary residency in El Salvador. We chose to set up a business at that time, and it's called Las Tres Gracias, and it was official in November 2023. Now, because it was official, and even though we were not actually running anything, because we didn't even move here until August 2024, we had to start filing these nil tax returns each month with the Hacienda, or the IRS version for El Salvador, or CRA version, however you want to call it. Luckily, we met our very good friend Stan, and he helped us find a good accountant. And after 1 year, we needed to do an audit, and we did that last November in 2024, and soon it'll be coming up again. So even if you have a business started, but you haven't actually started transacting any money for the business yet, you still have to file these monthly taxes. And it was actually some of that tax paperwork to show that we actually had a business here that helped with our residency permit paperwork. So what is it that we planned on doing here, you may be asking? Well, we were told to list absolutely everything that we thought we might be interested in doing. As if we had picked one thing and then changed our minds later on, we have to start that whole business paperwork process over again, pay all the fees and whatever, and it would take like 3 months. So we listed many things related to tourism, transportation, training, etc. I think there was probably 30 things on the list. We just listed basically everything we had a remote interest in doing, including animal hospital. But our hearts are more into the hotel or resort type of place that may include many of the things that we had on the list eventually. So when our place in Ontario sells, we'll be looking for a few acres of land at a good price, hopefully, so that we can start this resort type business. And our goal was to help give jobs to the girls that are aging out of the House of Life Mama and Baby Shelter that's run by the Mi Casa Kids Foundation. But for now, that's just a waiting game until our property in Canada sells. So I recently went through that list again, and we decided to start one of these businesses, and that is the tourism transportation service and tours. And I mentioned that we purchased another van when I did my 1 year in El Salvador video, and we are using this van for our tours. Here's some video footage taken the day that we got the van, and the mechanic who goes through a checklist to make sure that we know any issues that the van may have before we actually buy it. Okay, so here we are in the car. Not my car, we're in Stan's car because we're going to buy a van. Actually, we're going to buy the exact same van we had in Canada, just a little newer. So it should be easy to drive because I've been doing it for 16 years. So we're getting this van because we've been talking about starting our business, and because our motel hasn't sold yet, we can't really buy property. So one of the items that we had listed on our business plans that we gave to the government to get our business approval was to do tourism with excursions or transportation. So we figured that is an easy way that we can start doing this business, basically just getting a van and start doing trips, doing excursions, airport pickups. People want to come on a scouting trip and they have a big family. We'll have this van to drive them around. And yeah, that's how we're starting our business today. So today we're on our way with Stan to go pick up a Kia Sedona 2012. It's a 7-seater, so we got lots of room for some people and a little bit of luggage.
Oh, yeah.
Buenas. So meet Marlon, guys. He came out from San Salvador to check out our Kia Sedona for the day. He goes through a whole bunch of stuff with his little computer there, you know, turning the car on, checking for codes. He revs the engine. He checks, does the seats move in and out the way they're supposed to? Do the windows go up and down? Do the wipers work? Do the lights work? He just basically tests everything on the car so that you know beforehand if this is an investment that you want to buy. And I think he gave us a list of about, I don't know, just a handful of things, about $150 worth of parts that we'd have to buy to get the car up and running perfectly. We highly recommend that you do this if you're planning on buying a car, so you're not surprised with a big bill of things that need to be fixed in the future. No electric seat in the front for the driver.
Oh, yeah.
Which we haven't had for a while.
That's the brake.
We are literally on the side of the road here. As you can see, the cars whizzing by. This was the only place we could find that had shade so that we wouldn't be like in a business's parking lot and have them kick us out or something like that. So they'll do this service anywhere.
Ese que vi, el gato Félix le habían puesto. Cabal se veía como cuando se movía el crico, como que se movía la cola.
Sí, claro.
So we bought a van. We got a van just like we had in Canada. It's so familiar. It's amazing. I just feel like I've transported myself with my car into El Salvador. I highly recommend, if you're going to drive in El Salvador, to pick the vehicle you're most comfortable with driving, because it's so nice. And this van is very peppy on the hills. Excellent. Good choice. Hard to find. I'm glad we had a friend Stan helping us find the car, because he must have, about 7 or 8 cars he went through, vans he looked at, and this was the best. And it's a Kia Sedona 2012, and we had a Kia Sedona 2009, so pretty familiar with this model. And it's in really good shape. Very well detailed, clean, just really nice. And it's got a full tank of gas now, so we're on our way home.
This is just a small example of traffic in El Salvador. We're in the lane going straight, and
people on the left lane crossed over in front of me to go over there, and now they're completely blocking me. And all the people behind me, as you can imagine, they're not particularly happy at the moment.
Yeah, this is sort of normal. It's just how it works here.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised if all of a sudden the motorcycle just,
Weaves
comes
in and out.
comes from the right and crosses right in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, he decided to change his mind, or he's going to go somewhere else. Okay. Thank you for making us wait all the time.
Yeah, it's not working.
Nothing.
Get off the next exit, bud.
Yeah.
We drove 3 hours to get this van in Usulatan, which Stan helped us find in the hottest part of El Salvador. It was so hot that day. He's a really good friend of ours, very knowledgeable on finding a good car here. He actually helped us buy our Vera Cruz as well, and he offers this as a service. If anyone's actually looking to buy a car here, give Stan a call. Now, Stan was our tour guide when we came to El Salvador on our scouting trip in 2023, and he is currently doing Uber, so it made the most sense to have Stan be our tour driver as well for our business. There are new business rules in El Salvador, and we're getting caught up on what they are exactly with Jenny Airy from Living Like a Local, her husband Cesar, and one of them is the electronic invoicing for all businesses here in El Salvador. I remember the first time I ordered a meal from the Pedidosia app, and I got these 2 invoices emailed to me afterwards. One was for the meal and one was for the tip, and I thought, this is weird, but this is the new law. That's the type of thing we're going to have to do as well to give electronic receipts to our clients. So we're getting that set up as well as getting our documents up to date, changing our address, and we have to get a bank account set up. So we got a few extra things to do, but we do have the van and we're ready to get started. So that is our new business, and it's just starting out. We hope to be able to pay off the van soon and then start generating some profits and then build on it from there. Also, we hope to keep Stan as fully employed as possible. And if we get overbooked for a tour, even I might be out there driving people around in our Vera Cruz. We made a little poster here, so if you're coming to El Salvador and you need a driver or an airport pickup, then Stan is the man for you. And if you want to know more about El Salvador, you can join our WhatsApp chat by emailing me at youtube@hagenaars.com or join us on our Monday night call. The details are in the description below. Here we are supporting each other with contacts for qualified and trusted tradespeople, lawyers, companies, etc. We're building our own little community of expats and diaspora so that we can all learn from each other, especially not making the same mistakes, hiring the wrong people. And we'll continue building on this as well. If you're interested in supporting our channel, we also have membership options. You can check that subscribe plus button below the video to check that out. And if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button as it helps the algorithm get this content out to more people. See you in the next one.
Don't forget to hit the like button.